Hi everyone, this is Abhinav from Phone Bunch and today we are unboxing the Samsung Galaxy J5. This is the Indian retail unit available from Flipkart for Rs 12,000. Now it comes with a 5-inch HD Super AMOLED display, Snapdragon 410 quad-core processor, 13 megapixel rear camera, 5 megapixel front camera, 1.5 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs of internal storage and a 2600 mAh battery. Now if you want to see the Moto G3 unboxing today as well, don't forget to hit that like button. And now let's go ahead and open up this box to see exactly what we get inside. Now we have already taken a look at this device when it was launched at Samsung's event, and this is the 4G cable Indian variant. So it supports both bands in India, 1800 MHz and 2300 MHz. So let's go ahead and open up this box to see exactly what we get inside. So we have got the white color variant for you. It's also available in black and gold. So at the very top you can see this is the new Samsung Galaxy J5. I'll keep that aside for the time being. Let's see what else we get inside the box. So at the very top you have your usual documentation. You have SAR information up top as well. So that's 0.808. Again, pretty much in line. Next up you get a white headset. Now we have seen these previously from Samsung. They came with the Grand Max as well. These do sound quite alright. And here's your 2600 mAh battery. And you get a USB wall charger this time around. So great addition. Now it's rated at 1 amp and there's your micro USB to USB data syncing and charging cable. So folks, this is the new Samsung Galaxy J5 and right up top you can see that front facing flash. 5-inch Super AMOLED HD display up front as well. But before we talk about anything else, let's have a look at the build. On the right you have the power lock and unlock button. Now there are some sticky things here. Let me just remove those. So the power button actually has very good tactile response and you can see this silver finish. It does look metallic, but they are made out of plastic and it is a bit glossy as well. And you can see those indents up top. They do remind me of the Samsung Galaxy J1. Moving to the left, you have the volume rocker. It is very sturdy and does offer pretty good feedback. The sides are rounded as well, so it would make the phone far easier to hold. Good tactile response over here as well. At the bottom, you have the 3.5mm audio jack, micro USB data syncing and charging port along with the primary microphone of the device. So all ports are housed at the bottom, there's nothing on the top. Now it's actually a pretty thin device, it doesn't feel bulky. Now moving to the back, you have a 13 megapixel camera, f1.9 aperture lens, LED flash and the speakerphone right there as well. Overall the phone does feel pretty good to hold in the hand. It has a pearly sheen on the back cover. So it's not exactly matte, but it isn't really that slippery either. The back cover in itself does bend and flex quite a bit, as you can see, just like previous Samsung smartphones, but not when on the phone. Now this is the 4G LTE dual SIM device. So you have your micro SD card slot up top, just below it there is a SIM card slot and the other SIM card slot on the left. So there is no hybrid SIM card slot over here. You can use two separate SIM cards. You have the 2600 mAh battery right here as well. So I'll just plug that in. Very snug fit over here and then we'll power on the phone for the very first time. Now the build and construction as well as the fit and finish seem to be very good on the device. Not exactly premium but doesn't feel cheap either. Now let's come to the front. I'll remove this plastic sheet. You have a front facing flash, a 5 megapixel front facing camera up top as well. You do have a proximity sensor but there is no ambient light sensor available on the device. Now just below the 5-inch Super AMOLED HD display, you have capacitive buttons for back and recent apps which don't light up and a physical home button which actually has very good tactile response. So folks, we have booted into Android 5.1.1 Lollipop running on the Samsung Galaxy J5. This is Samsung's cleaner take on Android 5.1.1 Lollipop. There's not much bloatware on the device, very few Samsung apps in fact. You have all your quick toggles right up top, you cannot expand these. And here you can see Android 5.1.1 Lollipop right out of the box. Out of that 8 gig storage, you have about 4.25 gigs available to you. USB OTG is also supported over here. I'll just play a 1080p video right off the USB storage. And the video playback is actually pretty smooth. The speakerphone does sound loud as well. We'll test it out further. So after the first boot, you have about 670 odd MB RAM that's free right now. Moreover, you can see that SD card option to the left, which does mean that apps could be movable to the external storage. Now let's talk about this display. So it has very vivid colors, excellent color reproduction, and you can see no distortion in brightness or color. So viewing angles are actually very wide. but that's a property of a Super AMOLED display anyways. Better contrast also makes the display look far sharper. You do have an outdoor mode available, but there's no ambient light sensor. Color reproduction is actually pretty good over here. Colors look punchy and very vibrant. Good contrast levels as well. Now just like the Galaxy S6, you can easily open up the camera by double tapping the home button and it opens up readily as if it was just waiting for that command. The camera captures images rather quickly and focuses in quickly as well. There's a separate Pro mode available right here where you can control the ISO, exposure levels as well along with white balance. So plenty of manual control available over here as well. There are some effects built in as well, filters if you would say, and they apply directly to the viewfinder. You can take 13 megapixel still images with the rear camera and record 1080p videos. Now the front facing camera also captures images rather quickly, and you can see that front facing flash which always remains on, unlike what you see with the rear flash. And you can see right here the front camera did take a decent image, but yes, there was a bit of noise. However, the rear camera took a very good image over here. You can see great amount of detail, good perception of depth as well, and the color reproduction is pretty solid. We will be taking an in-depth look at the camera later on, but for now let's talk about software. So we are running TouchWiz on top of Android Lollipop, but this time around it has been scaled down. It's far smoother to work with, the animations are slick. This is your default launcher. So you do have some themes available over here, widget support is also baked in. Overall the performance is pretty smooth. You do get these Microsoft apps installed as we have seen with almost all Samsung devices of late. Now there are some games that have come pre-installed as well. I will try them out. And here's your notification quick toggles. You can quickly move through them. And you can edit these as well so that you can get your preferred ones on top. You do have an ultra power saving mode. So you guys have been asking us this. So J5 does come with that. And then there's this game zone from Gameloft. So you get rupees 3200 worth of credits on downloading these 4 games. And you get in-app content for that. Now let's come to web browsing. So web browsing again seems to be pretty smooth over here. The better contrast of the display does make text look far crisper. Pinch to zoom is very smooth, as is general touch response on the device. Apps do open up quickly as well. There's plenty of free RAM available after the first boot, which you have already seen. So there shouldn't be any major issues with multitasking. And you can see even after opening so many apps, the Google Chrome browser hasn't been killed and the site is still loaded. So there shouldn't be any major performance issues with this device. And well folks, that was the first look at the retail unit of the Samsung Galaxy J5. It seems to perform quite well. The display looks brilliant. The rear camera looks very promising. And well, there's the front facing flash and 5 megapixel front camera for selfie lovers. Moreover, the build on the device seems to be pretty solid as well. Now the biggest competition to the Samsung Galaxy J5 is the new Motorola Moto G 3rd generation. We'll be taking a look at that as well today, so stay tuned to Phone Bunch. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button. If you have any questions, mention them in the comment section. Thanks for watching the video, and as always, have a great day.